Sorry, I mean, the most important part for me is setting up the table and organizing your information. Once that's set up, everything else they fall into place. So the first question was question 3, I think. Yeah, it's question 3. So we have 2 people. Let's create a table, Pat and James, right? And let's express their ages accordingly. So my first column is called the now column, right? So let's figure out how old they are currently. And it says Pat's 20 years older than his son James. So we have information about Pat, but we don't have any information about James. So that becomes, James becomes my X because I don't know anything about it. Now that I assign X to James, James is X years old, I can write Pat's age, right? And they tell me that Pat is 20 years older. So whatever James is, Pat is 20 years older. So Pat is X plus 20. In 2 years, so we're going to have to make it. So the equation that we're going to create is based on their ages 2 years from now. So before I even create their equation, let's figure out what their age is 2 years from now. So I'm going to write plus 2. So 2 years from now, James, let's do the easy one. James is going to be whatever he is today plus 2. Pat is going to be whatever he is today. He's X plus 20 years old, but he's going to be 2 years older than that. So we're going to do X plus 20 and plus 2. So Pat's going to be X plus 22 in 2 years. So we have their ages, well, an expression at least, right? And then now we can use this, right, to set up the equation. The equation says Pat will be twice as old as James. So let's write that down. Pat will be equals, Pat's age is going to equal 2 times whatever James is. And that's how I write it. Well, I can replace Pat with X plus 22. Right? And I can replace James with X plus 2. That's it. From here on, it's pretty easy. So X plus 22, distributed properly, 2X plus 4. We have variables on both sides, so one has to go. So let's do minus X here. Let me put that wall, and I'll do minus X here. These two go away, right? So I got 22. 2x minus x is just x plus 4. We're going to subtract 4 from each side, right? Remember? Right? We want to isolate our variable. We want x all by itself. So I get rid of the plus 4 by doing the added inverse, which is minus 4. So that goes away, becomes 0. Now on the other side, 22 minus 4 is 18. So x is 18. So let's go back to the equation. So what do we want? Their years, their ages right now. How old are they right now? Well, James is 18 years old. And what's Pat? Pat's 18, right? Plus 20. He's 20 years old, so that makes him 38. So if you want to confirm and go one step further, well, let's figure out how old they are 2 years from now. So in 2 years, James is going to be 18 plus 2, which will make him 20 years old. And over here, 18 plus 22, right? Pat, in 2 years, he's going to be 18 plus 22 is 40. Look at the relationship. So in 2 years, is Pat twice as old as James? Yes, he is. Look, Pat's 40 and James will be 20. So that's another way of checking our answer. Okay. 9. The sum of the ages of John and Mary is 32. So we got 2 people here, John and Mary. So the sum of their ages. So if you add, so John plus Mary is, what is it? 32. So, doesn't matter who you call X, let's call Mary X. So if Mary's X years old, and we know that, so let me write this, John plus Mary equals 32. So if Mary is X, right, how old is John? Well, if Mary's X, John's going to be 32 minus, take away whatever Mary is. So John's going to be 32 minus X. And it says in 4 years ago, so we got to go minus 4 here. Let's adjust. So the problem talks about their ages 4 years ago. So let's find out how old. So we know what their ages now is, right? Let's figure out how old they were 4 years ago. So Mary is currently X years old. So 4 years ago, she was X minus 4. John is 32 minus X years today. So 4 years ago, he's 32 minus X minus 4. We can combine like terms, 32 minus 4, that's just simply 28 minus x. So now we know their age is 4 years ago. Okay, and the problem says 4 years ago, so we're going to use their ages 4 years ago. John was twice as old as Mary. So 4 years ago, John was, or his age equals, twice as old, 2 times whatever Mary was. Now, what was John, 4 years ago? He was 28 minus x. Mary was 2 times x minus 4. And then let's solve this. So 28 minus x, distributive property again, 2x minus 8. We're going to, whereas there's a variable on both sides, let's get rid of the minus x, right? So what do I do to minus x to give me 0? Well, I have to do plus x. If I do plus x on the left side, I have to do plus x on the right side. So on this side, minus x plus x gives me 0, so that goes away. I'm not even writing that, so I just put 28. On the right side, 2x plus x is 3x minus 8. Ow. And then now it's a two-step equation. Let's lower this a little bit. We're going to do plus 8 and plus 8. Minus 8 plus 8, right, that's 0. That gives me 3x. 28 plus 8 is 36. The next step is to divide both sides by 3. And x equals 12. So I can go back to my problem here now. And so how old is Mary right now? Well, Mary is just 12. How old is John? Well, John is whatever. It's 32 minus a 12. So we got to do minus 12. 32 minus 12 puts him at 20 years old. Okay. So, and again, 4 years ago, if you want to continue and do one more step, right? I didn't ask you, so I didn't ask you to do it, but I'm just doing it anyway. So 4 years ago, Mary was 12 minus 4. 4 years ago, she was 80 years old. That makes sense. And John, 4 years ago, so we're going to, sorry, not 4 years ago, we're going to substitute x, right, which is 12. So 28 minus 12 is 16. So 4 years ago, look at the relationship. Was John twice as old as Mary? Yes, he was. So there we go. All right, so again, it's repetitive, but once you get the hang of it, you know, it's pretty. An Oriental rug. Ugh. What do they use the word? It's 52 years old, and the Persian rug is, so let's call it Oriental rug. Jeez, who uses that word anymore? And a Persian. So right now it says that the Oriental is 52 years old, and the Persian is 16? 16 years old. Let's see if I can scroll down. I can. 15, sorry. 16. It says how many years ago was the Oriental rug? 4 times as old as the Persian rug. So it's going to be in the past. So our time. So we're going to write 52 minus however many number of years ago, right? And then 16 minus the same number of years ago, right? So that's the expression we're going to use, right? Some years ago, so 52 minus X amount of years and 16 minus that same amount of years. That's the two expressions that we're going to use to set up the equation. So how many years ago was the Oriental rug 4 times as old as the Persian rug? So a few years ago. So the Oriental rug was, or equal to, was 4 times the Persian rug, right? So here we use 52 minus t. This one we do 4 times 16 minus t. Again, same thing. Now it becomes super easy. What is this? 14 is 24. 64 minus 14. Okay, then we have variables on both sides, so we do plus t. So again, remember, right? What's the additive inverse of minus t? So how do I get that to become 0? I add plus t. So if I add plus t there, I must add plus t on this side. Remember, that's a rule. These two go away. 52 comes down. I get 52 equals 64 minus 3t. It's a two-step equation. Don't forget your wall. We're going to do minus 64 here, minus 64. This is negative 12. Negative 3 comes down, negative 3t. Divide both sides by negative 3. And t equals 4. So that we're talking about. So that's your time. 4 years ago, the Oriental rug was 4 times as old as the Persian rug. So let's see if that works. So 4 years ago, right? So 52 minus 4 is 48. 12 minus 4, sorry, 16 minus 4 is 12. So look at the relationship. Is the Oriental rug 4 times as old as the Persian rug? Yes, it is. So when did that happen? 4 years ago. All right. Not bad. One second, guys. Okay, so where are we? On 21. And again, guys, I know I only assigned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 problems or so. You're welcome to do more of them for practice. It won't kill you. You have the answers in the back. Okay, so 21. 15, 21, sorry. A silver coin. We have a silver coin. And what? And a bronze coin. Right? This is no different than John and Mary. Call it whatever you want. So again, we have information about the silver coin, but we have no information about the bronze coin. So the bronze coin, I'm going to call it's X years old. And the silver coin is 28 years older than the bronze coin, so the silver coin is whatever the bronze is, so 28 plus X. That's their age right now. In 6 years, so in 6 years, the silver coin will be twice as old as the bronze coin. Okay, so in 6 years. So we got to use their ages 6 years from now to set up the equation. So the bronze coin is X, so in 6 years it's going to be X plus 6. The silver coin in 6 years is going to be whatever he is right now, which is 28 plus X, and then we're going to add plus 6. Combine like terms, we get 34 plus X. So that's the coin, that's the age of the silver coin in 6 years. All right, so now that we have that information, we can set up our equation. In how many years, no, sorry, where are my, in 20, in 6 years, the silver coin will be, so in 6 years, the silver, right, so let me write that out. The silver coin will be equal to twice the bronze coin. Okay, so that's my equation. Now we just gotta substitute. So the silver coin in 2 years, in 6 years, sorry, is 34 plus X. The bronze coin is X plus 6, so 2 times X plus 6. And again, look how repetitive this is. 34 plus X equals 2X plus 12. We have variables on both sides. One of them have to go. Let's get rid of the plus X by doing minus X. If I do minus X on the left side, I have to do minus X on the right side. Plus X and minus X becomes 0, so 34 is the only thing left over on the left side. 2X minus X is X, and then plus 12. When I isolate the variable, so how do I make that equation look like this? Well, I get rid of the 12. How do I get rid of the 12? I do minus 12. If I do minus 12 on the left side, I do minus 12 on the right side, and this becomes 22. So X equals 22. So go back here. The bronze coin is 22 years of age, and the silver coin is 28 plus 22. So the silver coin apparently is 50 years old. Okay, and then you can plug it in on the other one. What question was this? What, question 21? 15, 22. And we're good. 21, 2, 3, 4, 26 is our next victim. 26, we have a lamp that's 95 years old, an electric lamp. So again, all right, kerosene lamp and electric lamp. Electric. Okay, no different, like I said, of John and Mary. Same thing. What is it? The kerosene lamp is 95 years old. The electric lamp is 55 years old. How many years ago? So we're missing the T here. That's what we're missing, right? So some years ago, right? So 95 minus, so some years ago. So it has to be minus because it's in the past. So some years ago, right? So we're trying to figure that out how long ago. So minus T because it's the same amount of years. So we're going to use that to replace in our equation. So what's our equation? So it says, how many years ago was how many years ago was this lamp, the kerosene lamp, twice the age of the electric lamp? Wow, is everything twice? Okay, so that's your equation. The kerosene lamp was twice the electric lamp. So let's replace. Kerosene lamp is 95 minus T. The electric lamp is 55 minus T. Solve this, distributed property, that becomes 110 minus 2t. Again, we have two variables on both sides. We want to get rid of the small one. The smaller one is this, right? It's negative 2. The coefficient is negative 2, which is less than the coefficient here, which is negative 1. So I'm going to do plus. So how do I get that to become 0? I have to add 2t, right? Because that's what I'm doing. So if I add 2t here, I add 2t here. These two go away, right? 110 comes down. Negative t plus 2t is just t. And we get 95 plus t. I'm almost there. I want to subtract 95 from both sides. Remember, I want t all by itself. So I just get rid of the 95 by doing the additive inverse because it's minus 95. So I could do minus 95 here. 110 and minus 95 is 15. So this was 15 years ago. So what number was this? 26. All right, so 15 years ago they had, so again, if you want to plug it in here, so 15 years ago, the kerosene lamp, if you do 95 minus 15, right, you get 80. And if you do 55 minus 15, you get 40. So 15 years ago was the relationship twice. Wow, look at that, it is, right? The kerosene lamp was 80 and the electric lamp was 40. So there's another little extra for you just to make sure that you have it correct. 26, what's after that? 30. Chelsea's age is double Daniel's age. Okay, so we have Chelsea. And we have, who's it? Daniel. Right, so let's start. So right now, it looks like, that looks what I have. It looks, sorry, I can't see it. So Chelsea's age doubles Daniel's age. Do we know what Daniel is? No, so let's call him X. But I know what Chelsea's age is. I have information on that. Chelsea is twice whatever Daniel is. So that's their age right now. 8 years ago. So we have an equation that's going to be based on their ages 8 years ago. That's going to use the information, all right, about their ages 8 years ago. So let's figure out what they were 8 years ago. 8 years ago, well, Daniel was X, so 8 years ago he was X minus 8. Chelsea today is 2X, so 8 years ago she was 2X minus 8. So that's her ages 8 years ago. So now I can use that information. So it says 8 years ago, the sum of their ages was 32. So if the sum of their, so 8 years ago, so let's set it. 8 years ago, Chelsea plus Daniel, the sum of their ages was 32 years. So we can replace. 8 years ago, Chelsea was 2X minus 8. 8 years ago, Daniel was X minus 8. We can combine like terms. 2X plus 1X is 3X. Negative 8 and negative 8 is negative 16. And then equals 32. Two-step equation. I will do a little story here, those of you who... I have a variable or a number that I don't know of that's being multiplied by 3. Subtract 16, he's going to give me 32. What did I start with? So Inverse operations, right? Plus 16, and then divide both sides by 3. So there are the two things that I need to do. So wall, plus 16 here, plus 16 here. Those two go away. 3x is left over on the left side. 32 plus 16 is 48. Check, I've done that. Second thing I have to do is divide both sides by 3. Divide by 3, divide that by 3. 48 divided by 3 gives me x equals 16. So that was x equals 16. I can go back to my table. I can tell you that Daniel today is 16 years old. Chelsea's twice that age, so that makes her 32 years old. Just to confirm, all right, so again, let's put x over here. So 8 years ago, 16 minus 8 makes Daniel 8. And then 2 times 16, 32 minus 8 is 24. So 8 years ago, if you added their ages, look, 24 plus 8 is 32. And that confirms that we have the correct ages. 37, I think. So we have Nicole is 26. That's her age right now. Emma is 2. And how many years will Nicole be triple Emma's age? How many years? So we don't have, so it's sometime in the future, right? So it's going to be plus t, right? So sometime in the future. So 26, Nicole, 26 plus a few years, and 2 plus a few years, the same amount of years. So in whatever that number is, right, a few years from now, they're going to have a relationship between their ages where Nicole is going to be triple Emma's age. So in a few years, Nicole will be 3 times Emma's age. When will that be? That's the question. So Nicole is 26 plus t, right, in the future, sometime in the future. And 3 times Emma's age, 2 plus t. Emma is 2 plus t. Distributed property on the left side. No, sorry, on the right side. It's going to give us 6 plus 3t. Right, so again, we have variables on both sides. Let's get rid of one of them. Either this t goes away or that 3t goes away. So minus t on this side, right? And I do minus t on the right side. Whatever you do to the left, you do to the right. So these two go away. I'm left with 26. And then 6 comes down. 3t minus t is plus 2t. Now that's a two-step equation. Again, those of you who are enchanted by the story method, you can do it. Here's my variable, a number I don't know. It's being multiplied by 2. And to that we're adding 6. And that's giving me 26. That's what that says, right? 2 times the number I don't know plus 6 equals 26. So I just wrote it horizontally. Inverse operation, right? The method we're using to solve this. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And that, by doing that, it's going to make my equation look like this, right? The 6 is going to disappear, the 2 is going to disappear, and my variable is going to be isolated. That's what we want to do. So wall, minus 6 here, minus 6 here. Those two 6's go away because that's just 0. 2t comes down, and then on this side we get 20. That's done, so now I have to divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and t equals 10. So going back here, in 10 years, they're going to have a relationship where, what do you call, Nicole is going to be her age is going to be 3 times whatever Emma is. So in 10 years, Nicole's 26 right now, so plus 10, in 10 years, Nicole's going to be 36 years old. Emma is 2 right now, and if you add 10, makes her 12. So in 10 years, look at their age relationship. One is 12, the other one is 36, so that's 3 times. Okay. 40. A marble bust, a marble. What's going on? Our marble bust, one of those probably. If you go to a museum, you see a lot of those. So let's call it the marble bust. He's 25 years old. That's it. A terracotta bust is 85 years old. Oops. Stop doing that. Right, so now and then, so that's their ages right now. In how many years will the terracotta bus be 3 times as old as the marble bus? So again, sometime in the future, right? There's going to be a relationship sometime in the future, a few years from now. If you look at their ages, the terracotta is going to be 3 times the marble. So let's figure out when that's going to happen. So 25 plus a few years, 85 plus a few years from now, you're going to have that relationship. So the equation says the terracotta, I'm going to write T, is going to be 3 times the marble. And let's figure out. So the terracotta, we're going to write it as 85 plus T. The marble is going to be 3 times 25 plus T. Sorry. Right. Now we can, again, distribute the property. 85 plus T equals 75 plus 3T. So again, variables on both sides, right? So let's get down. Gotta get rid of this T or that 3T. I always get rid of the small one. How do I get that to look like 0? Or to give me 0? And to plus T, if I do minus T, look at that, gives me 0. So because I did minus T on the left side, I have to do minus T on the right side. So 3T minus T is just positive 2T. On the left side, that goes away. I'm not even writing 85, but 85, sorry, 0, but 85 is left over. So 85 equals 75 plus 2T, right? So that is my equation. And again, little story. I have a number that I don't know, which is being multiplied by 2. Add 75. It's giving me 85. Inverse operations. First, I'm going to do minus 75, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So let's do that. Okay, here's your wall. Get rid of the constant, 75, and just minus 75 on that side. So 85 minus 75 is 10. These two go away. 2T is left over. Check. Second step, divide this by 2, divide this by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times T is just T, which is what I wanted. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5. So in 5 years, this is going to happen, where the terracotta bus is going to be 3 times as old as the marble one. Well, let's check. So in 5 years, so 85 plus 5, the terracotta is going to be 90 years old. And the marble, which is 25 right now, and plus 5 makes it 30 years old. Look at that. In 5 years, will they have that relationship where the terracotta is 3 times the marble? Yes, they will. So do me a favor. Practice a few more. You have the answers. You know, the next page, the last, you have all the answers. I suggest you do a few more. Okay, and that's it.